Hey, you guys! Doing a little experiment for you guys. When I do a live video from my home computer from my home on this phone, I can't get 50 to 60 views max. When I'm in a different county, normally I get on the live stream where I'm going a little later. So I'm getting on their live stream earlier now. But when I get on a live stream from a different county than where I'm at and where I'm from, then I get anywhere from 1,000 to 4,000 views. So I'm just showing you guys the hit my channel takes, as always. Like the first time I had a channel, I got up to 1,400 subscribers and they shut me down. Boop. Actually, I think that was the second or third channel they shut down, but the 1,400 subscriber channel they took down, not even a strike. I didn't even have a warning when they shut me down. So we'll see how many people join this live stream because, as I said, when I'm in a different county driving down the road on my live stream, I get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people viewing. But when I do it from home, I get 50 people. Everybody needs to be aware that the lockdown is on when it comes to free speech. If you don't know, oh, I already know the lockdown's on, blah, blah, blah. We are getting ready. I mean, we are already in World War III, and it is a hot war. We are involved World War III with China and Russia and Iran. We're hot in it, right dead in the middle of it, and we're not going to escape it. At this very moment, Chinese elections, not that they matter either, they have been stolen. They're trying to consolidate and take Taiwan into China. America has a no Taiwan policy. So they're going to get us into World War III. And it isn't to protect and defend anybody. This is all planned, all to loot the American taxpayers and to collapse us as a nation. What's up, News Now? All this is meant to collapse America as we know it. At the same time, America is imploding under the weight of illegal immigration. If you didn't hear, the nursing college student in Georgia was kidnapped and raped and murdered by a Venezuelan murderer in a sanctuary city known as Athens, Georgia. All over America, people are being slaughtered by this illegal trash and scum that's here. We are at war. When you see Venezuelans attacking cops in New York City, there's a problem. And listen here. Here's the only good thing that I can see coming from that is I'm glad that law enforcement is finally getting a little bit of what we've been dealing with. So it may not be godly of me to say that, but for you people that don't think that cops are the oppressors, where are you at? God is bringing judgment to Babylon? Absolutely. The problem is a lot of good people, all good people. I got in a discussion with the refrigerator, the guy that comes and works on our house, and he's a Baptist. If you're saved, once saved, always saved. You can't do nothing to keep from going to heaven once you're saved. Nice guy. And the worst thing you can ever do is get in an argument over politics and over the Bible. But I'm sorry, the Bible doesn't say once you're saved, always saved. It just don't work like that. And I said, well, what about in the Bible where it says that the blood of the saints will be bridle high for the equivalent of 6 miles? If that's the saints' blood, then why didn't those saints get raptured? Why didn't they get taken away? He literally thinks that God's going to come down here in a cruise ship and honk the horn and all the Baptists and all the Christian people are going to walk aboard, all aboard. I just don't see it that way. But to say I took some pleasure in watching those cops get their butts kicked I did. When my targeting first began, I called and I begged for help, and nobody would answer. I called everybody, and they all said, "Oh, well, you're just crazy." Catawba County Sheriff's Department, same one that's got my wife strung out on dope. I called them, had the neighbor who was a fire chief. You guys didn't know me back then. I caught a guy up in one of my big 100-year-old oak trees. The guy was right there in camo, 100 feet up. Had a picture of him on my cell phone giving me the middle finger in camo in the top of that tree. You could see his wedding ring on camera. And this cop says, "I don't say nothing." Then he says, "Well, if you don't come down, you're going to be in trouble." And then the guy just sat there, didn't move. I know that my eyes weren't tricking me. My neighbor even saw it. Now, he was part of my gang stalking as well, but he saw it. And there's this guy up in the tree. So the sheriff goes and talks to the neighbor, and the sheriff comes back, "Well, you know, I heard that you found your fiance hanging dead in your garage last week, so, you sure you don't want to go to the hospital?" I said, "What does a man in my tree that's been terrorizing me have to do with me in the hospital?" "Oh, it's just too crazy." Why would a man be in your tree? When you're dealing with the U.S. government, every program they have, they test and experiment on American citizens first. Just like the syphilis experiments, just like when they dropped a bomb in, Ohio, they dropped the freaking nuclear bomb. I mean, there are all these things that MK Ultra. I was watching these people that Bill Maher, M-A-H-E-R. Bill Maher, you know, the comedian. He was on that show Taxi. He's on that Real Time with Bill Maher. All these people on the right are worshiping him. Look, Bill Maher's coming around. He's starting to see truth. No, he's not. He isn't seeing any truth. He's calling out the extreme stupidity, which is this trans crap that's meant to destroy our youth. He isn't coming to our side. And it's just like people like Tim Pool. And the reason I mention these people, because I watch them, because I get my information from different sources so I can calculate it, decipher, and discern good, bad, right, and wrong, true or indifferent. So here's Bill Maher, and everybody's like, "Look at him, he's coming around, he's learning." Well, Roseanne Barr goes on the show, and she said, "What about MK Ultra?" And Bill Maher's like, "I don't know who that is." He's like, "What? You don't know MK Ultra?" And I'm not one to say that Roseanne is one of the most credible sources, but she was a victim of MK Ultra. She knows these government programs. She had her life destroyed over a tweet. I mean, she did a lot to help destroy her life back. I'm old enough to remember when she went out and she sang the national anthem at a ball game, and she grabbed her crotch and spit when she was done. Oh, everybody, my mom and dad's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe she did that. That's so ungodly." And she didn't get canceled for it. But if you say something like what Roseanne said about the Iranian in Obama's White House, Miss Jarrett, you say something like that, oh, you got to cancel her. But here these people are, like Tim Pool, and Tim Pool's like, "Oh, I can't stand Donald Trump. Donald Trump, he hated Donald Trump. He's done. He thinks he's smart. Yeah, he fell for Obama's lies. How can you be smart and fell for Obama?" I knew he was corrupt the first day I saw him at the DNC giving his speech that brought him to the White House. I knew he was corrupt then. But Tim Pool's like, "Oh, our first black president. Look at here." No, you were racist, Tim Pool. You voted for him because he was a black man. Plain and simple. So here Tim Pool like, "Oh, well, you know, I'm going to vote for Trump. Absolutely, I'm going to vote for Trump. I'm going to, yeah. But he will still deny the godly ways that I represent. The problem with people who are atheists and agnostic is they have no basis for morality. If you don't have a Judeo-Christian understanding in your heart, if you don't have that basic knowledge of Judeo-Christian values, which we all are born with, we are all born with, you shouldn't steal, you shouldn't kill, and you shouldn't screw your buddy's girlfriend. We all are born with that. So how can they judge morality, right and wrong, when they don't know anything about the Bible besides this basic human instinct that we're born with? But people like Bill Maher, he will willingly refuse to learn. Roseanne said, what about Klaus Schwab? What about the World Economic Forum? He's like, who? What? When? Where? I don't know none of that. And it's the same thing that I will deal with daily, because I will argue online. If I could quit commenting, I would save me a lot of hell that God's going to send my way. I cannot stand to see stupidity. I cannot stand these people that lie openly and will stand on it to the death that they're lying. Just like a guy, I don't know if you guys remember the Chevy conversion van that I fixed up a couple years ago, went and bought from a guy. The guy had like 2 or 3 Ferraris. One Ferrari, a new Ferrari, like a $400,000 Ferrari. He had a couple of really nice Jags, a real sweet Corvette. I mean, the man had money. He would never let me know his political leanings, but I knew there was no God in him. So I've been noticing lately where he's posting all this bad stuff about Trump, but he'll give Biden a pass. And remember, I'm not a Trump supporter any longer. I think he's our best bet at staving off. Trump may be able to buy us a couple of years, but I don't think they're going to let him in there. I think they're going to steal the election just like they did last time. We don't stand a chance. America's done. There's no way to save it. I'm just hoping somebody can delay it a little longer so I can spend time with my family, because that's all that matters, is spending time with my family. But he wants to argue that Volodymyr Zelensky is some kind of great god and he's doing everything to save Ukraine. And they're like, dude, Vladimir Putin is a bad guy, but he ain't the bad guy in this scenario. He invaded Ukraine, and it's not his country. I said, well, you're wrong. The Minsk Accords, M-E-N-T-Z, the Minsk Accords says that NATO will not move 1 inch into Ukraine territory. Not 1 inch. So then he comes on there and he says, oh, well, you're wrong, because Putin said last year that he canceled the Minsk Accords, and that's why he went in. And I said, listen, dude, the Minsk Accords were canceled because we violated the contract. We violated it because we put chemical weapons labs in Ukraine. We did everything wrong. They didn't. We did. America, the CIA. It's like Joe Biden said, well, if you don't fire the prosecutor, you won't get the $1 billion from America. And son of a bitch, an hour later, he fired the prosecutor. Where do you think that came from? Because the CIA corrupted the government, put in Volodymyr Zelensky, who was a transsexual cross-dressing comedian. A man that dresses up in women's clothing. That's what he is. That's what he did. There's no, oh God, really? Are you sure? No. Many times. Just like Justin Trudeau, who was in blackface, was seen, not only blackface, he painted his skin black, like, I think the last count was 13 times. But these are the people that we worship, just like Trudeau and Volodymyr Zelensky. There's the pig. Man, I'm telling you one thing. I was riding with Mason the other day, and 4 times I said, I feel a pig coming. I feel a pig close by. I feel it close by. And Mason's like, no, and like a second later, there's the pig. Second later, there's the pig. 4 or 5 different times I felt a pig and the pig showed up, just like just now. Back there, I felt the pig, and there's the pig right there. There's the pig. Right there's the pig. I hate law enforcement. So he's arguing with me over the Minsk Accords. Well, President Putin cancel that. No, we violated it. So we're closer to World War III right now because why? Because President Macron, the French president, he is pushing to have NATO take over Ukraine. Why? Because they are getting all of our billions of taxpayer dollars. They're looting everything. And then it comes back around. They even admit it. What did you have for tea? I don't know what that means. What did I have for tea? I drink tea for tea. So, oh gosh. These uninformed people that are totally clueless, and they're the loudest voices. It makes no sense. Presidents cannot start war without congressional approval, but not in America. And there's not a Republican up there with any balls. I mean, I knew in my heart of hearts that Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House for the Republicans, I knew in my heart of hearts that he wasn't going to get nothing done. I did not realize, because he's one of these godly men. He talks about God, quotes scripture, this, that, and the other. But when they put him up for the election, the Democrats didn't fight at all. They're like, oh yeah, we like Mike Johnson. He's a good guy. Well, that's your cue right there. That's your cue right there. The Democrats are okay with him being in there. It means he's bought and paid for. Did you see my comments in the live chat, Channing? Yeah, I saw a couple of your comments, Mossy Man. I can go up. People love the lie more than the truth, brother. You know that already. Yep, I got you, Mossy Man. So, all this corruption. Mike Johnson's like, oh, no, we're not going to send any money to Ukraine. The first thing he does is send money to Ukraine, to Israel, send money everywhere except keep it here for the taxpayers. If you didn't hear, 70, I think it's called NICA officials in New York, 70 officials have been arrested for giving no bid contracts for construction. You see, this is the problem. America cannot function. This Judeo-Christian America cannot function with sin. America only works when you have the morality based on biblical teachings. It doesn't work anyway. Because there's no thought of consequence. These people, if you believe, just like the President Xi of China, if you believe when you die nothing happens, you don't care what you do here. This is all you have to live for when there's no accountability in the afterlife. I'm scared to death of hell. I am terrified. I don't want to go to hell. That sounds terrifying. I don't like to be burned. Now, if I was truly as scared as I think I'm scared, I wouldn't sin at all. And I know it's stupid. I know it's a fool's errand to keep on arguing with people. And this is exactly what Barack Obama said. He said, we will fill every media and news agency full of garbage reporting, and then they will have so much information they can't sort through it. That's where we're at in America today. Is there so much information when you show these idiots the truth? Nothing. You show these people the facts of what's happening in America and around the world. Nothing. Tell me why, because, see, I don't watch regular TV. I don't watch regular news. I don't watch the nightly news. I don't watch that. I just watch the highlights on YouTube when somebody's trying to show the stupidity of what they're preaching. So these people just spewing lies, and I'll show them truth. And literally, it's like pointing at the sun and saying, that's the sun. And these people are like, nope, That's not the sun. You can't tell me that's the sun. La 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 la. I don't believe you. I don't. So 70 people arrested in New York. You see, they used to do credit checks. They used to do background checks. They used to have references. You used to have proof in your resume to show you were a good person to hire. Well, see, when you put diversity, equity, and inclusion as your prerequisite for hiring, you get the worst of the worst. And that's where we are in America today. We hired people like Fannie Willis. If you don't know who that is, investigate Fannie Willis. We get people like Fannie Willis, Letitia James, Barack Obama. We get these people that were hired because they were black. And that's the only reason. If you know they don't teach you anything in school except how to take a test, then how is it when you get to college, that's all they teach you, the same crap? How are you even qualified for any job if all they do is teach you how to take a test? So they're thrown in a job and everybody around them helps them because, as always, in every job, there are 1 or 2 hard workers and there are 6 or 7 other ones that are held up, kept afloat by the hard workers. How's the boy doing? Haven't seen him lately. Yeah, Mason don't hang out with me much anymore. He has figured out if he tells his mommy that I'm mean and I'm hateful and all this, that, and the other, he figured out all he's got to do is pitch fit and he don't have to work no more. So Mason is now on easy street where he don't have to do hardly nothing at all. And that's okay. I'll just keep on moving. So here we have corruption beyond corruption. And I hate to use Martin Luther King Jr. as an example because if you want to speak of corruption and an unholy man, the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., he was compromised by the CIA. The CIA was giving him whores daily. Whores daily. They had Martin Luther King everywhere on video having sex with the prostitutes. So the American people, the kids in America, don't have any role models to look up to any longer. There are none. Jesus is the only role model anyone should look up to. It's like somebody else said something like, well, they were having these award shows. I can't watch anything on TV. When I see a Tom Hanks movie like Forrest Gump, like I enjoyed years ago, I enjoyed it. But I now know that he is a Moloch worshiping pedophile. Not in my mind. I'm not going to watch one like me. And it's just like on YouTube where, and I've got a big gripe. A separate video about Wrangle Star. Google Wrangle Star, look him up. Name's Cody. Of all the people I can criticize, he is the one that gets on my nerves the most when it comes to who we watch. He started his YouTube career doing little how to sharpen a knife and how to tie your shoe. YouTube when it first began. So he's been in there a long time. Well, now, this is what people in the audience need to understand. I'm not a great YouTube guru. I don't know how to do half the stuff on YouTube. They're never going to let me monetize. They're not going to let me make money. But let me tell you, people like Cody from Wrangle Star, and I put it in the comments every time I go over there. He's making minimum $70,000 a month, not including commercials, not including, not including products he represents. $70,000 a month. So he came on there about a year and a half ago, and he said, "Well, beloved," because he plays the Christian, and I mean, he never cusses or loses his cool, and I wish I had his persistence when it comes to that. Give me $70,000 a month, I won't cuss anymore either. But last year, he's like, "Well, I'm going to come on here," and he read a couple Bible scriptures, and that was it. That was it. He said, "I'm going to start doing it like this. I'm going to give you biblical scriptures of how we're supposed to live life in these last days. And that's the last time he read a Bible scripture. Why? Because he watched the review of his video where he didn't get many views. He didn't get hardly no money. So he said, well, that didn't work. It's craziness. It is absolute craziness. And I don't know when people are going to wake up to what's going on.